Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rob Dougherty, CEO of White Wizard Games. I'm here to do a solo playthrough of KAPOW using our new prototype solo play rules. I'm going to be playing the hero, the mighty Tough Nut, and I'm going to be taking on the villain 235. This is a prototype, and there's still development work to be done on the solo play, so it's possible I'll make some errors as I go through playing here, but I want to give you the general feel of what the solo play is like. So as you can see on the board here, I've got a player board, and I've got the Tough Nut super board. And then over here, I have my opponent, the 235's super board. Left myself a little space here to roll dice. I've got my dice ready to go. And then I also have 235's dice ready to go based on what's listed here on our boards. We both start with 30 health. So I've got our score dials here. These are the prototype score dials. The ones that come in the actual game will be nicer, but these are useful. And because 235 is the villain, both the same health, she's got the first player marker. So once I have my opponent's dice ready, I go ahead and flip her board over to the solo play side. And so here it has all the things that she'll do as a solo opponent laid out here. And when I roll her dice, I'm going to fill this out from top to bottom. So her rolls will be the placement for her rolls will be determined by this board and the set of rules for this format. So when you're playing, you roll first for yourself, and you play just like you normally would. So I'm going to go ahead and take my roll and see what I get. Okay, we've got a lot of blanks here, which the good news is even with a bad roll like this where we got blank, 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 there's still a bunch of cool stuff that we can do. The Tough Nut starts with multiple of these action dice, so getting more faces will be super useful. And I've got the synthesis ability here, which has any die equals any die. That works for blanks. So we're going to go ahead and fill this in. So we're going to be getting 3 non-wild faces. Now, I'm going to gamble that my opponent might gain a die on her roll. So I'm going to do this adaptability, which says at the end of power up, if my opponent has more dice than me, then I will get a die of their choice. And then I've got 1 die left here. I think you know what? Actually, I'm gonna use one of these dice over on honest pay, which lets me re-roll a die and an action die and add a face. So I'm gonna back that up. It'll do my honest pay. I'm gonna add to this action die. I'm gonna add a shield face, and I get to re-roll that die. And even if it comes up blank again, which it did, it's no big deal because I'm going to use those any 2 dice to adapt. So this turn, I'm basically just gaining a bunch of faces, trying to make my multiple action dice more powerful. And maybe I'll gain a die depending on what 235 does. Just hope she doesn't hit me too hard. Now, my roll's set. So this is when in a 2-player game I would raise up the screens. And at that point is when you roll for the bad guy. So I'm going to go ahead and roll her dice. And, she's rolling a little better than me. Okay, so we have her roll here, and we go down her board in order. So the first thing that she has is weak force. I'm going to bring this a little closer so you can see it. The first thing she has is weak force. That gives +1 attack kicker. And basically, if there's an update on the Kickstarter page talking about her, you can get a better zoomed picture of that on that page if you want to check that at any point. So her opponent gets +1 attack. So in this case, I'll get +1 attack kicker. If she had 2 or more blanks, then she'd get to lose a health and re-roll all her blank dice. She didn't, so that doesn't do anything. And then half-life has an effect if she's at 15 or lower health, which of course she's not. So we go on to Meltdown, where we're looking for a set of 3 matching icons. It's tough to do early in the game, but she got it. She got 3 of the agility icon. So those got active. So that one activates. The next one down is electromagnetic. She wants a non-wild X factor, and any die doesn't have that. Then she's looking for pairs, doesn't have those. So finally, it goes to her Fallout ability, where we can put individual dice in. Okay, so our rolls are set, and she is, with her Meltdown, she is getting 6 defense and an action die. So we'll go ahead and grab her an action die. And then down here for Fallout, for her energy, she's getting 1 attack and a non-wild face, and for her might, she's getting 2 attacks. So she's attacking for 3. Tough Nut automatically has a defensive 1 with his stalwart ability. So base defensive 1, attack of 3. I'm going to take 2 points of damage and go down to 28. So I've been smacked. And I have 0 attack. She has 6 defense. So so basically that's going to bounce off. And then she in the power up is gaining a action die and a non-wild face. Now, when the bad guy gains a non-wild face or a trait die, it's done randomly. You can use any method you want to randomly select it. What I've done is taken one of the extra dice, which you'd have if you're doing the team up tier. You'd have more dice than you need for this for the solo play format. And I put 1 face in each side and left a wild in there. So I'll just re-roll and wild comes up. So X factor, so she's grabbing an X factor face, so she's got an action die and an X factor face. My power up, I'm gaining 3 non-wild faces. These are of my choice. I think I'm going to go with toughness. I'm going to grab 3 shields here. And then finally, my adapt paid off. She did indeed gain an extra die. So adapt says if your opponent has more dice than you, gain a trait die or action die of their choice. So basically, we're going to roll this, and it'll determine what I get. If I rolled a wild, I get an action die. Yellow, I get a yellow trait die. So basically, she's choosing to give me the yellow trait die. Okay, so yeah, I am definitely going all in on defense here. My thought is I have some cool defensive abilities. So I've got like the roll cage, which I can activate later in the game, where I can put any die on that, and any defense kickers will also give me attack kicker. So I'm thinking I want to power up my defensive abilities on my action dice. Oh, someone's asking how you pry the faces off the dice. So the game comes with these little plastic arrows, and you just pop the little plastic arrow in, and the face comes right off. And then if you want to put a face on, you just shove it in like that, and they stick really well. So basically, they don't come out at all when you're playing. We've played these hundreds and hundreds of times. And then again, to pop them out, you just, so if you have nails, you can pull them right out with your nails. If you don't have nails like me right now, you can just take this plastic arrow, stick it in, and boom, comes right out. So super fast and easy to get those faces out. All right, so that was the first turn. We took a little bit of a hit, but not too bad. And both of us gained dice. So even though our roll was terrible, using the synthesis and the adaptability, we were able to sort of keep in the game. Okay, so now we're on the second turn. I'm going to roll again for turn 2. Let's see what I got here. All right, this roll is definitely way better. All right, so I have a lot of interesting choices here. So I think so we've got I think I want to buy a die. So we're gonna use the grow ability to gain a trait die. Then I could do an attack or defense. I've got both options going here. Um, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do a 4-point base attack. Or actually, you know what? I'll do a 3-point base attack. I'll use the wallop to give me an extra 2. So I'm going to be attacking for a total of 5. And I'm going to do, I have a 1 base defense at all times with a stalwart. I'm going to go ahead and put this shield icon on my deflect. That will both give me a +1 defense kicker and get me a wild face. So here I've got some aggression going. I've got a little bit of defense, gaining a die and a face. So sort of improving and getting a little attack in there. So we'll see how that goes. So 235, she had a higher defense last turn, so she kept this marker. Trying to remember to indicate that as it happens. Now let's see what she gets for her roll this turn. Okay, so this is much less nasty for me right now. However, she has her strong force. So basically, if she has 2 or more blanks, she loses a health. She goes down to 29. And she gets to reroll all of her blanks. So that's going to be scary. What does she get? Oh boy! All right, so we got some beatings here, but at least there's no big sets. All right, so her strong choice activated again. Half life. She's not low enough for that. Triples. She's got a spread of icons here, so she's not going to be able to pull off any of the triple. Electromagnetic. She wants a non-wild X factor. Doesn't have it, so she can't pull off that ability. Now she's looking for pairs. When she's looking for pairs, she's gonna go off this board here on the right, and basically whichever's highest on this list, that's the thing she's gonna activate. So she's got a wild, so she can form pretty much any pair she wants among these, but it's gonna be the highest one on here, which is going to be the agility one. So she's choosing agility. Now this is where half-life comes in. If she was at half-life or less, she would instead choose from the bottom of this list. So she would choose might first. So basically she gets more aggressive when her health is lower. But she's got the 1 pair, so she's going to use her Gamma Blast ability with agility. And then she's got a whole bunch of individual abilities going here in her Fallout. So those extra dice are being used up on the Fallout. Okay, so now we're both set, and we go ahead and resolve the turn. So she's attacking again here for 3. She's got 2 from the might and 1 from the energy in her Fallout. And so her attack is 3. My defense is a 2, so I'm just going to take 1 point and go down to 27. Okay, so and when I defended here, I got a non-wild face of my choice. I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of these toughnesses. Those go into my pool. I'll get to place them on my dice before the next time I roll. Okay, so now she got to attack first because she's got the first player marker, but now I get to attack. I have an attack of 3, 4, 5, and don't forget I get that +1 for her weak force. This ability is kind of a weakness of 235. She's got that unstable radiation, which makes her a little vulnerable. So I get +1 attack, so I'm coming in for 6. 6-point wallop. Unfortunately, she defended here with her Gamma Blast for 4 points of defense, and she gets a wild face. And she's got the shield gives her 1 defense and a non-wild face. And for her non-wild face, she's going to get an X factor. And then so basically her defense was a 5. My attack was a 6, so I got in there for a single point. Not exactly the beating I was hoping for, but we did get some damage through there. And now during power up, she's going to get a single non-wild face from her blank die over here on the fallout. So she will grab another blue. And then I am getting a trait die of my choice. So I think I actually want to grab one of these red dice to maybe give me some more attack options. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add these faces. So I'll grab. Actually, I'm gonna add one to. I'm gonna choose to add. You can rearrange your faces however you want, and I'm going to drop an extra face onto. I'm going to have one die have 4 faces and 2 wilds in case I want to use my honest pay ability for a reroll. I'll have a die that has a really high chance of success with that. So that's my pool. And then over here, we're adding faces to 235's dice. All right. So got those. All right. And then it's time for the next turn. Let's see what I get. Oh man, I have quite a few options here. I've got multiple energies, a wild. All right, let's see here. I think this is. I'm gonna go ahead and use the. We're gonna use the X factor and the agility to grab an additional action die. Then I think what I want to do is just put together a nice, powerful attack. So I've got, I'm going to do a 4-point base attack. I've got, I'm going to use this as a might for the wall for the +2 attack. And then I'm going to use the energy and the blank die for a slug. So I've got a nice 9-point attack coming in and gaining an extra action die. My defense is non-existent this turn. But hopefully I'm still at 27, so hopefully she won't hit me too hard. Okay, so now her roll. All right, so she again has 2 blanks, so her strong force is going to kick in and reroll both those blanks. She got a wild. All right, so now she has trip meltdown, 3 of a kind. Again, she's got 2 choices here, but we go by the order on the right. So since she hasn't hit half-life yet, she's going to be going from the top to the bottom. So that is going to mean that she's going for 3 blues. Next thing, electromagnetic. We're out of the X factor, so she's not going to do that. Next is pairs. She does indeed have a pair, so she's got double might. And then going down here to fallout, the remaining die goes there. All right, so let's see. Looks like we're both going to be smashing each other pretty hard this turn. All right, so again, last turn she had the higher defense, so she kept the first player marker. So for attack this time, double might is going to be a 6-point attack. So I have my 1 point of free defense as tough nut. So she's coming in for the 6. So I'm going to take 5 and go down to 22. And now this turn, she does not have any defense going. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the first player marker. So I'll be going first in power. And that was because I had my 1 point of free defense as tough nut. So I have a defense 1, she's a defensive 0, so I get the first player marker. My return strike, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, +1 for her weak force, means I have a total attack of 10. She's got no defense going, so bam, she takes 10 down to 17. That was a wallop. All right. And then power up. This is where it's not going as great for me. With the triple X factor, she gets an action die, a trait die, and for her trait die, she's going to get a red die, and she gets a wild face. And then with her fallout blank die, she's getting a random face. Reroll a wild, so she gets an energy face. All right, so she got multiple dice and multiple faces there. But good news, I'm getting an action die, and that's the last action die, and a non-wild face. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of those shields. And her, let's go on her new die there. Okay, and let's see here. We'll go on to the next turn, and again, I have the first player marker, and I'm ahead at 22. Okay. I love the tough nut puns. Nice. All right, here's my roll. Let's see what I can get here. Oh, I can get a lot of blanks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, what are we going to do with this? Could do some re-rolling here. Using the time jump ability. Oh, I can do honest pay. That's a good option. So I'm going to go ahead and throw die on honest pay. That lets me put a face, might or a toughness face on a die and re-roll it. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here and see if I can get there. Yes, I got a toughness out of that. Awesome. And then do I want to do any more re-rolling? Maybe. Let's see here. So I can gain. I have the ability to gain a trait die. I think I want to defend myself a bit this turn, so I will indeed use a die to re-roll this green. Hope for the best on this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use this die to re-roll the green. Ugh, a blank. All right, I'm going to try one more of those. See if I can get an agility. I got a wild, even better. All right, nice. So, I'm going to do a sidestep to give me +2 defense, and I'm going to do a deflect to give me +1 defense. Now I can go right into those defense kickers again because Tough Nut has that free ability with a 1 base defense. Normally, I'd have to defend first. All right, so I am grabbing myself a trait die and defending here. So that's basically my, and in this defense I'll get some faces. So I'm just turtling up a little bit, building up. Hopefully she doesn't punish me too hard on this turn. Okay, so now my dice are set, so I roll for her. All right, so she is, again, she's at 17, so her half-life doesn't kick in yet. She's got 2 blanks. That clicks her down to 16. I'm pretty fortunate that wasn't 15, because at 15, the half-life would switch things around and make her more aggressive. So I'm going to go ahead and get her re-roll for that. All right, so now let's see what she is going to do. So she's got 2 of those, and these guys. All right, so she's going to melt down. Now, really fortunate for me that she got these in the short term, because that's going to keep her from attacking too hard this turn. However, she will get some dice, and then she's going to do the Gamma Blast with the fists, and she's got these guys going into the Fallout. All right, so I am not attacking at all. And she is attacking for 6 points. But I have 4 defense, 1 base plus these. So that means I'm going to be taking 2. I'm down to 20. And I'm going to gain 2 non-wild faces. I think I'll grab this last shield, and I'll grab a might. All right. Then I have more. Do I have more defense? I have a defense of 4. She has a defense of looks like 2. So I indeed have more defense. So I'm keeping the first player counter. And I am gaining a trait die. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this last red trait die. All right, so she will be grabbing a trait die, an action die, and a wild face. So when the automated player would gain a die of a type, if that type isn't available, they get a die of the other type. And so in this case, she's going to be getting 2 trait dice off of this. First trait die will be yellow. So we got an energy. She got the last one of those. And then red, that one's out. Green. All right, so she got those 2 dice. She gets a wild face. And it's getting a little scary. She's getting a lot of dice over here. Good news is I'm ahead in health and I have the first player marker, but it's getting a little dicey. All right, so basically the die that has the least faces on it gets the face. So that goes there. She's got those. All right, and I have to add. And then over here she gets a for the she had those 2, so she's getting 2 more non-wild faces. So that's going to be a blue and a blue, going heavy on blue. All right, that one goes there, and that one goes there. All right, so and then I'll put my faces on. Let's see, I put a shield over here, and I'm going to throw a might in over there. Awesome. Okay. Let's see if I can finish her off here. All right, got a pretty good roll. Let's see here. So I'm worried about the number of dice she's getting, so I'm trying to figure out if I can be extremely aggressive with my attack. So I could pull off a kicker here, but then a multiplier to double my value, but I don't have great dice for up here. Perhaps I should honest pay here. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these X factors and do honest pay. Reroll this blank after adding this might face to it. See if I can get lucky. No luck. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this to time jump to reroll this red die, trying to get a aggressive face out of it. I did. Got a might. All right. So let's see what I want to do. So I can do a 3-point base attack with the zap, and then get the then do the blast to get +2 attack, kicker, and a 2 times multiplier. So I'm going to hit fairly hard there. And I'm going to go ahead and do a deflect for +1 defense. And that will also give me a non-wild face. Perhaps I'm being a little too aggressive here. We'll see. Let's see what she rolls. Okay. So life totals are currently 20. I'm at I'm at can I get it under the camera? I'm at 20, and 235 is at 16. I have the first player marker, so I'm going to be assigning my damage first, and we'll see what she rolls. Oh gosh, this is not good. There are a lot of wilds here. All right. So in minor good news for me, her half-life isn't active yet, and she only got 1 blank, so she's not going to use her strong force to reroll. However, she did get 2 might faces. That's a little scary. So the rule is when to fill in these triples, you use as many blanks as possible on dice. These require non-blanks, so we can't fill those out there. And as few wilds as possible. So she's got 2 pairs here. So either one of those could be activated with a single wild. Fortunately for me on the attack side, she's got 2 agilities, but that does mean that she's going to be having some good defense against my big attack. All right, now she has an X factor, which is not wild, and any die, so she's going to activate her electromagnetic. That's a little bit of bad news for me. Next, she's got Gamma Blast. She has a pair. Then she can actually Gamma Blast twice. Here she has another pair. So I am in a lot of trouble. Now this wild is going to be used on Fallout, and so it'll just go into the first spot there. I gotta be honest here. I am in some trouble. Okay. All right. So I have the first player marker. I get to go first. I have a base attack of 3. I have a +2 attack kicker over here from my blast. So that makes 5. I have +1 from her weak force vulnerability. That brings it up to 6. It gets doubled to 12. So I'm swinging in for 12, which is awesome. However, her defense, she has 6 defense going from the meltdown. So that means that, and there are no more defensive abilities going. So 6, so 12 minus 6, she's going to be taking 6 points of damage. I was hoping to get her and Death's Door here, but she's still at 10. I am definitely in some trouble. All right, her defense is going to get her an action die. Now, since the action dice are gone, she's going to get a trait die, and we're going to randomize which one. She's getting a purple. Okay. Then her attack, she has 6 from the Gamma Blast with Might, plus another 4 from the Gamma Blast using Energy. So she's got 10 coming in there. I have a defense of 2. So I'm taking 8. I am down to 12. This is getting way too close for comfort. Now I do gain a non-wild face. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a Might. That was for my defense. All right. So now we go on to the power up. So over here, she's using electromagnetic. With electromagnetic, she loses 1 health. She goes down to 9. And I will lose 4 health. I go down to 8. Oh boy. I am in some serious trouble. Okay. So wow. All right. So let's see here. She's also gaining another die. Man, she is running away from me on these dice. No reds left. She gets a purple. I'm gonna have a hard time getting past this wall of dice that she's got going. She's gonna be hitting very, very hard next turn. All right. So she's gotten her dice, and I am. I just gotta throw this face on here. And bad news for me, she had more defense than me. So the first player marker is going over here. That's going to be rough. That is definitely going to be rough. Let's see if I can figure out a way to survive this turn. All right. So, well, I have a lot of mites. I have multiple wilds. Got a shield over here. So we've got some options. Let's see here. So can I defend for enough? Maybe I can use my roll cage ability, get some kickers going, and maybe both defend and attack for sufficient quantities to stay alive. So let's see. If I do this, and any die equals any die, I can get my +5 defense kicker. That'd be pretty sweet. And then we could use, let's see here. I can do a 3-point attack there. I can get a +1 defense there. I can use my roll cage ability there, and then I can use this to add in a wallop. All right, so I've got some defense going. I got some attack going. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. We'll see. All right, and then rolling for 235. Who she's got her nuclear energy all powered up. She's coming in hot. All right, let's see. All right. So she has 2 blanks, so she is activating her strong force. She's going down to 8. She gets to reroll these 2. Oh, she got another wild. Oh boy, this is trouble. All right, so meltdown. She's going to activate that using these 2 fists and 1 of her wilds. Electromagnetic. She's going to activate that using an X factor and a blank. Then pair. So now she's at half life, so she's going to go from the bottom up. She wants to be as aggressive as possible, but she has to use as few wilds as possible. So first she's going to do this one with the energy, and then the next one up is going to be with toughness. And then she's got her remaining dice. All right. So time for combat. She is coming in with a triple in the meltdown, which gives her 12 attack. And then she has a gamma blast using energy, which gives an extra 4 attack. So she's got 16 attack coming in. I have 5 + 1, 6 defense, and then my base defense of 1, 7 defense. Unfortunately, that is not going to do it. So she had, again, she had 12 + 4, 16 attack coming in. We subtract my 7 defense. She's coming in for 9. I am at 8. I am defeated. Oh, I would have been coming back pretty hard because I had 5, 6 kicker over here. I was using my roll cage, so that would have given me my defense acting as defense would have both been for defense and for attack. So I got +6 attack there, plus the 5 base, plus her 1. So I was coming back pretty hard, but not quite enough in time. So I think tactically, the error that I made there was I was a little too aggressive early. I was too excited about getting. I had some good damage rolls, so I went for that damage early, and I just let her get away from me on dice. I should have been activating my adapt more frequently to gain dice and my grow and my power on. I almost got enough dice to take it being aggressive there, but not quite. So she managed to outstrip me. So that's how the solitaire works in general. Now we're going to be doing more development work on these, tweaking these, and of course we want every single hero and villain to have a back like this where you've got the character on this side and in the back is a solo play, so you'll be able to play anybody against anybody, and of course we want all the different characters to play differently. Fortunately, the front side, their powers, they function very differently, and we can represent that with these abilities on the back. We can also switch the order where various things are. So, for example, her electromagnetic is pretty high up on the list, so she'll do that preferentially to forming pairs. So we can modify the priorities of their various abilities, and we can modify the order that that the triples and doubles get affected. Now, all the characters will have triple and double abilities, and then specific character abilities. But the order that these things activate and some of the specifics on what they do will be switching up from character to character. Anyway, that is the solo playthrough. You got to witness me get beaten down, but I almost had it. I was pretty close there. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Let's see. Are there any questions? Looks like we've got. Somebody said they're backing soon. Thank you. Yeah, Ori, long live Tough Nut. Unfortunately, I was not able to get it to keep it quite alive. Awesome. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. See you later.